Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome back to this show. We are live, and I am Roxy, and that is the way the cookie crumbles. I saw somebody today post as they were signing off. They said, "I hope you have the day that you deserve." I'm gonna take that. I don't know who said it, but I should give them credit. But whoever said that, that is what I hope for everybody. I hope you have the day you deserve. And for most of the rock stars, that means that I hope you have the best fucking day. Best. And for the other people who don't deserve a good day, you know what? That's on you. And that's your motherfucking karma. A lot of things I want to talk about today. But first of all, happy Halloween. I put ears on for you guys, which is the extent of what I can do today. I've been working today and it is Halloween and it is the first year ever, I think, that I'm not doing something on Halloween. I went on Saturday to uh celebrate. It was very nerve-wracking. I did it with my heart pounding, and I had a good time. And then today I decided not fucking leaving the house today. Just not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Don't have it in me. Not gonna do it. So here I am with you guys, but I did put on cat ears. Um, so that and oh yay, Sam, you went to the parade. I'm happy for anybody who went to celebrate. Several things that I want to talk about today. Number one, what I wanted to do tonight, you guys know I like to celebrate all the holidays with you. I try to be here on Christmas. I try to be here on Hanukkah. I try to be here on Thanksgiving. I try to be here on Halloween. I try to be here on New Year's. I try to be here for all the holidays with you guys because as a single lady, but also as a person who's lived alone for a long time, and also as a human being with a soul, I know that a lot of you guys are home during this time. You might be lonely, you might be sad, or you're happy and you want somebody to celebrate with, or you're celebrating with people and you just like hanging out. For all of that, I like to go live on the holidays to be here with you guys. So, what my plan was for tonight was I was like, okay, one time on the World Girls, we did this thing with the costume box. I'm going to have you guys send in Streamlabs and Super Chats and tell me what I should be. And I'm going to draw face paint on. I'm going to have a blast of a blast. I'm going to have a fun time. And I'm going to eat candy. And I'm going to go get a bunch of candy, do candy tasting and costumes and all this stuff. And I couldn't do it. I'm just being full blown honest with you guys. I had an hour and a half phone call today with my grandma and my and Mati, and I don't know what to call him because they've been together 30 years, so he's like my step grandpa, but they're not technically married. So, but anyway, like my step grandpa, and I had a long conversation with them today about what their thoughts are and what's going on in Israel and Palestine and in Gaza and the West Bank and around the world. And I was just fucking gutted by it all. I started writing some of it down, and then with writing it down, I was like, I'm going to share this with people because, as you guys know, she is Jewish, he is Palestinian, they both live in Israel, and that. So I'm going to tell you guys all about that. You guys are jumping to such weird conclusions in the chat right now. The dude that called me Discount Amy Schumer, I don't know. He keeps going on all of my things and calling me Discount Amy Schumer. I've just learned to ignore him. I don't know even what he means. I think it's a Jewish thing. Obviously, he's trying to insult me in some way. Whatever. Don't pay attention to him because that's fine. The thing about Puppo's fine. Grammy and Puppo are fine. This is my grandma on my dad's side, and the one that you guys know lives in Israel, and her man, my whatever you call him, almost step grandfather, the people that are my family, and he's Palestinian. So whenever I talk to them, I get enlightened on things that people here really don't fucking get because they don't get it. And you always want to talk to people who are actually from the place that you're speaking about to understand. So I had a long time where I was talking to them, and then after that, I also have been really invested recently in educating myself on what's going on in Congo. And I don't know if you guys have gone down that rabbit hole yet, but holy shit, it's just fucking horrifying and scary. And there are 6 million people who have been murdered over the last 25 years and millions of people displaced. And yeah, just, oy, oy, oy. Um, so anyway, I just was not, I was trying to work today too, and just some days I could do better than others, but I was like, I'm not running around and putting on makeup and doing this. I'm going to talk about what's in my heart because it's live at the Roxy. And this is the show in which I tell you guys what's going on in my life, what is going on around the world that I give a fuck about. And if you guys do give a fuck about it too, we talk about it. And if you don't give a fuck about it, then that day is just not the show for you. But that's what it means to do live at the Roxy on my channel, right? I get to just talk about the things that I are in my heart and soul and things that I want to fucking talk about. So all of that. Seems like a lot of you guys want to talk about entertainment stuff too, so we can talk about that as well. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in. This is going to be all the fuck over the place. It is Halloween. We are here together, so you don't have to be solo on this Halloween. I can't promise the whole stream will be fun. We're definitely going to talk about horrifying things too, but maybe we can talk about some enjoyable stuff as well. That is, I posted a post on Instagram today with 10 slides, and it's like, in some of them I'm crying, and some of them I'm on the beach, and some of them I'm working, and some of them I'm being told to fuck myself. Like, just the back and forth, the whiplash that's in my head. That's what comes out on this show sometimes. So here we are. Let's start with the super chats and the Streamlabs. Shout out to the sexy one himself, Andrew Thomas, who says, happy Halloween to always sexy Roxy, the most beautiful eyes. My eyes don't even feel like real eyes anymore because of how many times I've cried in the last few weeks. They don't even feel like, I mean, they're like permanently red. And no, I'm not high. I was Pennywise as Georgie for Halloween again. I saw that picture and fucking killed it. You are the best, sexy Andrew. And I hope you are enjoying your Halloween. And when I say that, hope everybody gets the day they deserve, what I mean for you is that I hope you have the sexiest day, because that is truly what you deserve. And let's jump over into the Streamlabs. For those of you guys who are here for the first time, this is a completely fan-funded network. I am only able to be here because you guys allow me to be. I am grateful to do this show. I love this show. And the best way to support is by going over to Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat is cool, but YouTube takes about 50%. They say they take around 30. It usually ends up closer to 50. So therefore, if you go to Streamlabs, they do not do that. And that is why creators tend to prefer it, even though it takes an extra second because you have to go to a different website. Those of you who have already, though, so much love to you, including Mike Joyce, with our first Streamlabs of the day, Streamlabs. He said, I'm not great at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment? RIP. I definitely want to spend some time talking about Matthew Perry today. Oh boy. And we will. So thank you for that. Obviously, the second that you said I'm not that great at the advice, can I interest you in a sarcastic comment? I knew exactly what you're talking about because, of course, you were talking about the iconic character that is Chandler Bing, played by Matthew Perry. May he rest in peace. To always low Lloyd in the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Happy Halloween, Roxy. You're the best. Love you, Team Stryer. Huge support. Thank you so much, Lloyd. Couldn't be here without you, truly. Ash in the Streamlabs with that. Oh, 1031. that October 31st support. I see what you did there. Ash has always got method behind the madness, and I appreciate that. And he just said, hi, Roxy. Hi, Ash. What's up, Ash? Happy to have you here, always. Puerto Geekin, that is a fucking amazing handle. Oh my God. Puerto Geekin says, happy Halloween rocks with my wife out of town and my kids out with friends. I thank you for taking this time to hang out with those of us stuck at home on candy handout duty. Know your efforts are greatly appreciated. Hell yeah, Puerto Geekin. I want to say Puerto Greekin because Greekin, but I'll get it right eventually. Yeah, if you're on candy handout duty, then I am here to be with you guys. Happy to be here. What's the candy that you guys all have? Okay, you guys, we will incorporate some fun. Send in what's the best candy to that you receive, like when you go to the thing. What is your favorite one to get? And what do you give out at your house? I want to know both. Nobody comes here to. I almost just choked on my own spit, but it went down. I think we're okay. Nothing is functioning right in my body right now, by the way, guys. Today, I'm not sick. I don't have a sore throat or cough or anything, but some, I don't know whether it's the stress or the lack of sleep. Two main things that are happening to me right now. My eyes won't stop twitching and my eyebrows, and it's so painful. They just will not stop. Because I have not been sleeping, and that happens to me about like twice a year, and it's really fucking annoying, but I know exactly why. And the other one is that my ears are completely clogged. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It sounds like there's like either water in them or something. It's like everything's fuzzy to me. So this morning I was talking to my friend and she was talking to me and I said, are you talking different? And she was like, no, what? And then I went to pick it for SAG and I was like, everybody sounds weird today. And she was like, what? And I was like, I don't know. It sounds like fuzzy. She was like, maybe go get your ears cleaned out professionally. And I'm like, I don't think there's anything going on in there, but fucking maybe. Okay, what are the best candies? You guys let me know. Peanut butter cups and nerds. Yes, Stormy. I feel you. Feel you. And like I said, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider, super chat in, show support. That is the way this show continues. And thank you for being here. Ash in the Streamlabs. Now he's switched the 1031 to 3110. We love a 3110. We can pretend we're in Europe where they do the date backwards so I can support more while staying Halloween. Oh, Ash, you're fucking killer. I appreciate you. The best. Congestion, I get it too. It's the allergies. It might be the allergies. Yeah. It could be. I don't know. Goes to darkness. Am I wrong? You guys just for wanting to be around my family without wanting them to make a big deal out of beating my leukemia. I don't think you're wrong for anything. Congratulations. Sometimes I feel like some of our biggest accomplishments are things it's like you just want to fucking move on and forward. So I get it. I think it's fair to say that to people too, if that's really what you want. But otherwise, let people celebrate you because that is something that is fucking deserved. Also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider, we have support coming through from my choice, Mike Wazowski. So my favorite candy is Reese's and anything Whoppers. I've been told I say it wrong. I think I say Reese's usually, but it's Reese's. And anything Whoppers, I will say Reese's are the absolute best of the chocolate candies, for sure, by far, baller. Whoppers, I can't be with you there, my dude. I want to be, but I just can't be. I want to be, but I cannot be. My favorite of the candies are Sour Patch Kids and Skittles have been banned. So those are my two favorite, with the Starburst as a third. And my favorite of the chocolate is Reese's. So good. Very, very good. I had no candy today. And at the SAG tent, they had candy. But by the time I went to get it, they had taken everything down from the candy bowl. I didn't get my candy, which I was pretty bummed about. It's not why I go strike, but it is a nice benefit to get candy on Halloween. And I would like some. Yeah, in California, Skittles got banned, John, because apparently one of the dyes in them is causing is linked to cancer. Just yikes. Okay, going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Happy Halloween. In the Streamlabs, we have support coming through from Jimmy Nails. Yes, Jimmy, miss you. Jimmy says sending love from your friendly neighborhood Satanist. I've missed you. Oh, Jimmy, feelings mutual. Hope all's well with you and the rock stars. I feel you on the eye twitch. I get that when I'm angry. Happy Halloween. Mark Ellis also gets that eye twitch when he's angry. So you're in good company. Streamhouse.com/Roxy Stryer coming in support from Austin Kramer. He says, my town does Halloween weird. The night before Halloween is called Baker's Night. And that's when you go trick-or-treating. And I've lived here my whole life and still haven't figured out why. Whoa, Austin, what? What happens on Halloween then? And why do you go trick-or-treating the night before? And Baker's Night. I've never heard of that before. Has anybody else ever done that before? That's wild. And everybody has candy ready and stuff? That is so crazy. I need more info. Let me know. That's kind of cool. Anyway, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you for the support. Super chat in. Streamlabs preferred, either encouraged. Love to you guys. Okay. So I know. It's a Halloween stream. And I'm like, oh, should I just try to be fucking fun tonight? But I actually don't think I can just be fun. So I'm going to be informative and let you guys know about my conversation that I had tonight with my family when I called them. So, okay, I wrote down things that they were saying because I think that it's important to hear things from an American Jew who lives in Israel and a Palestinian person who lives in Israel about what is going on. And okay, I'm just going to read you some things that they had to say because actually, let me backtrack. Let me stop this for a second and just backtrack for 1 second. Last night, I got a message from somebody that I was friends with. And that person is, I'm going to just read you guys part of the conversation because it was so fucking egregious and sad and scary and confusing why this person was messaging me or what their point of view was. And for those of you guys who are here on this show, you know what my point of view is. But this person has convinced themselves that I am pro-genocide and that this is what they messaged me. So I had posted on my story, and on my story, I had posted about what was going on at Cornell. And the students that had written things like kill the Jews and shoot the Jews and that the many more things, Jewish people must all be killed, those types of anti-Semitic things. And I posted on my story, and then somebody responded and said, man, I just don't like you anymore. And so I wrote on my story, posts my most recent story about extreme anti-Semitism on campus where people are threatening to murder Jews, people in my DMs, man, I just don't like you anymore. So then he responded to this message of mine. I hope you guys are with me. I know it's kind of a confusing story. And he said, you know, Palestinians are Semites, right? But I guess it's a Freudian slip because you're right. Anti-Semitism is extremely prevalent today with 8,000 Palestinians dead since October 9th. Most of them women and children. Call for a ceasefire. Call for hostages to be released. Stop posting in support of genocide. I don't post in support of any genocide anywhere, ever around the world at any point. I don't believe in mass executing civilians for any race, religion, um, sexual orientation, uh, who they love, who they are. I don't post that because I don't believe that. And I'm not posting in support of genocide because that would be fucking insane. I posted about what was going on at Cornell with people saying, kill the Jews. And he said, I am posting in support of genocide. It doesn't, like, people are not, and this is a white dude from America. And I think he thinks he is fighting for Palestinian lives by sending that message to me. So I think his heart might be in a good place, but his mind is so far fucked up and gone that he thinks that I'm the enemy. For some reason, he's decided that I am pro-genocide. Makes no sense. So I wrote back and I said, what an aggressive and inaccurate message about me as someone with Jewish and Palestinian family and friends. I absolutely do not support what's going on right now. I have continued to go on all my platforms and talk about what a monster Netanyahu is. I have advocated for Palestinian rights for over a decade. I have been to Israel. I neither support the genocide of Jews that Hamas has called for, nor the carpet bombing of innocent Palestinian civilians. It's disgusting. And he said, thanks for your clarification on your views. I understand your perspective a little better now. I've seen some of your other stories and unfortunately cannot go back now. And when I saw this one, I conflated some ideas that I thought were in support of Israel's occupation and responded to October 7th. I must have confused your views, but truly, since so many children are dying in Gaza right now and Israel is even risking the lives of its own hostages, I believe, in my opinion, the most important thing to say right now is ceasefire. And I'm not alone. 66% of Americans, including Jews, have been polled, and they agree. Ceasefire is the most important thing to be saying at this moment. I respect your view. I'm happy to hear that you do not support. Well, okay, this goes on longer, but you guys get what I'm saying. And I said, believe me, as someone who has family and friends over there, all I do is sit and cry and get up and fight. I'm desperate for this war to stop. I'm desperate for the hostages to be returned. I know people who were taken. I'm facing more anti-Semitism than I have in my entire life. I'm being hit left and right. And with my whole chest, I still am saying, fuck Netanyahu. In the future, try to approach with love if you can. I am not your enemy. Then he said, I think what you're saying is you agree with a ceasefire. I'm glad to hear if that's the case. Again, I'm only reaching out to people I consider homies, and I'm only ever trying to debate information with more information. I think that's clear. So at this point, I'm getting annoyed because I think the term ceasefire is kind of confusing, to be honest, because I would like for the hostages to be returned and for there to be no more bombings or rockets from either Hamas or Israel, for the hostages to be returned, and then for Hamas to be dealt with. But that is not people who are saying they want a ceasefire, what a lot of them are asking for. They're asking for Israel to have a ceasefire. They are not talking about what to be done with the hostages. And they are not asking Hamas to return the hostages or to stop firing rockets back. And if that is not what they mean, then I don't want to be in that camp, because that is what a lot of people are posting. Israel needs to cease fire. And that is not the the full stop, the full picture. So that is why I think that there is more to say than just a one word ceasefire. I think that there is many things that need to happen. So I wrote back and I said, of course, I wish the bombing and rockets would stop and that the hostages would be returned and that not one more civilian would die due to terrorists or evil governments and that the war would end. It's disgusting and it's killing me. But I would really appreciate if you thought about something. As a person who has uh, just consider me your homie. Do you feel like you showed up as your best self here? After me telling you how petrified I am to be Jewish right now and how my family are in danger right now, you didn't ask me one question about how I am. People are losing their humanity during this time. You are attempting to debate information. This isn't a debate for me. These aren't strangers to me. This is my actual life and my actual people getting murdered. I believe your heart is in a good place, but to completely jump to conclusions, especially when I have never posted one thing in support of the Israeli government, and not even treat me like a person when I'm experiencing extreme personal loss right now, it's hurtful and it's wrong. I have a right to stand up for Jews, not the Israeli government, Jews. The anti Semitism we are experiencing right now, you will never understand. I also have a soul, so I will continue to stand up for my Palestinian brothers and sisters. I hope maybe this will influence how you reach out to people in the future. You are fighting the right fight, but I don't believe you're doing it in a kind or fair way. Okay, so this is what I wrote back. To which he responded this, and this is when we got in a 2-hour debate that I'm so miserable about. He said, yeah, I do think I showed my best self here, and I don't appreciate deploying emotionally manipulative tactics in a conversation that should be serious to the core. 2.2 million Palestinian lives threatened, 1 million of those are children. The way you talk here makes me feel belittled. If you have a problem with me saying ceasefire and you think that's a reflection of an unethical person who's out of line, then I think that's more of a reflection on you, homie. I said, I have zero problem with you saying ceasefire. I'm not here to manipulate anyone. I am stating my reality. It is serious. I agree. Every single one of those children who is dying is disgusting and unacceptable, period. I just also care about the Jewish lives and the anti Semitism, and there is room in my heart for both. And he wrote back this: Palestinians are Semites and occupied. There is not room for both in the West Bank. Israel is considered a Jewish state, only Jewish. Palestine agreed to the 1967 borders that Israel could have agreed to. I wrote back, Rory, anyway, whatever. I'm familiar with the history. And this was something that then this person responded to and said, no posturing then. Let's talk about history. I said, this is not a response to what I said, and I don't think you've heard me at all. You claimed I was pro-genocide. I am not. You said I wasn't okay with you calling for a ceasefire. That is also not true. You've made a million assumptions about me. And then he screenshotted our conversation and resent it to me and said, go back and read. I literally have just read it out loud to you guys. I said, you are asking me to talk history while I'm telling you I'm in mourning. I don't know why you feel the need to message me right now like I'm the enemy. It's confusing. I do believe your heart's in the right place, and so is mine. And then he wrote back and said, I'm so confused by you. I walked back the assumption entirely and even explained myself to you when you clarified your position. But then, yeah, I told you that the most important thing to right now is to be saying ceasefire. 8,000 Palestinians dead since October 7th. Internet blasted out. Power, electricity, water shut off. Humanitarian aid shut off. Buildings collapsing on people. And people stuck under rubble for days with no phones or ways to call for help. People being told to evacuate south and getting bombed along the way. So I wrote, all right, I suppose we are confused by each other. This doesn't seem to be helpful for either of us. And yes, I'm extremely familiar with the news. It is absolutely horrible. This is what he wrote back. Hospitals that are clearly bombed and vaporized with technology that Hamas doesn't possess. I mean, and I said, why are you messaging me this as if I don't feel that way? And he wrote back, I mean, I'm the only person listing any kind of information and being told in response my heart's in the right place. And I said, are you saying that you want me to send you more information? And he said, anything to help clarify what your position is and why you're refusing to post about a ceasefire. I said, I wrote to you exactly what my position is. You are the one who's refusing to acknowledge that Jews are also suffering and anti-Jewish actions and rhetoric is also a problem. And he said, I hope to see a rhetorical change that reflects your commitment to liberation of the Palestinian people and a ceasefire to stop the ethnic cleansing in the West Bank where Hamas doesn't exist and the Gaza Strip. Again, 8,000 Palestinians dead, 5,000 children in the last 3 weeks. That's ongoing, no equivocation. If you want me to equalize the two sides, I refuse to do so. That's where we will always disagree. So this is what I wrote back. One of us is agreeing with the other. And that is me agreeing with you, wishing for peace for Gaza and Israel, wishing for peace and for Hamas and Israel to stop the violence. But the other one of us, that is you, is not addressing the very real issue in the Jewish community. I have not asked for equalization, you putting false sentiments in my mouth yet again. But I am seriously starting to question after this conversation where you stand on Jewish people and if you believe in our right to exist as well. To which he responds this. Israel is a Jewish supremacy state that was born out of an original Nakba that displaced thousands of natives in the West Bank. One side is an oppressed people who have been occupied. 70% are officially classified as refugees by the UN. Another side is a state that defines itself as a Jewish state and is literally founded on the principles of ethnic cleansing. You can generate your opinions out of fear or just let those facts sink in. I've been in many talks with my Jewish friends who would never try to equalize both sides here. Gaza is the largest open-air prison in the world. There was a period where Netanyahu counted the fucking calories that people were intaking. So just pausing for a second. This is where I need to take care of my mental health and did a really bad job. And way earlier than this is where I did a really bad job. This time is 2:30 in the morning. I am talking to somebody who clearly is unwell, who believes he is right, who's somebody who called Israel a Jewish supremacy state. There's one Jewish nation in the world. There's 49 Muslim nations. Are we calling them Muslim I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? To say that is just like, what? On top of that, like, both things can be true. Why don't you understand that innocent people dying is bad? Everywhere. It's just crazy to me. And this is the kind of conversation I'm having every day with my friends who are attacking me and telling me that I'm trash and that I'm pro-genocide. This is one conversation I'm reading you guys of the dozens of conversations over the last few weeks like this and the hundreds, if not thousands, of messages I've received like this. I just don't write back to people I don't know. But like, this guy, these facts are not right. And he deserves to be fucking pummeled for this. But I'm not doing that because I don't want to fight with anybody. So I said, it's 2:30 in the morning, and this is an absolute waste of energy. The worst part is coming. So it's 2:30 in the morning. This is an absolute waste of energy. All my energy is going towards my family and loved ones and innocent civilians. I do not have the energy to continue this. And I feel as if where I thought your heart was in the right place, I actually believe you have hatred for my people, which is disturbing. There's one country in the world that is a Jewish state. There are 49 Muslim countries. Jews have a right to exist, as do Palestinians. And if you don't agree with that, there is no helping here. And he said one nice thing to me. I hope you can stay in contact with your family and their utilities aren't cut off. And then said, good Lord, there's so much wrong in the message you just sent me. For the record, you're misrepresenting my views. I do not hate Jewish people. I hate Zionist people, which again, people don't know the definition of Zionist, so I give them grace on that. I think they're supporting Israel's claim to the West Bank. They are unaware Israel can just accept the 1967 borders, and they would like to see the West Bank fully colonized and cleansed. there is so much wrong with this sentence, but okay. And I will never stand with slave owners or colonizers, which the Jews are neither of those. If you want to twist that into me being anti-Jewish, tell it to Jewish Voices for Peace. That's their stance too. This is the problem with organizations like that people think are speaking on behalf of all Jews and then interpreting their words, because he's clearly misinterpreted what they're saying by believing that Israel is a Jewish supremacy state, that which is not something that they've said. So, because it's not how they would feel. This next part is really truly just the icing on the cake and something I share with my close friends on Instagram. So welcome to my close friends. It's a little further down, but okay. I said, there's so much wrong in almost every message you've sent me, but I'm trying not to fight. I'm trying to heal. And you just keep sending me stats that have been a part of my history and life for over a decade. I'm glad you care about the atrocities going on in Gaza. You have a lot of educating yourself to do when it comes to Jewish people. I don't feel like being a teacher right now. When I have it in me, I'll try. And he wrote back, LOL. Yeah, lots to learn, but somehow you can't tell me anything. I'll take your word for it. Did you know that Israel funded Hamas? And I said, I'm crying in my room right now. Can you leave me alone for the night? This is insane. And he said, I've been crying watching videos of children in Gaza being buried by rubble. And I said, as have I. And he said, so when I see posts that aren't calling for a ceasefire and are distracting from the ongoing genocide, and then I'm being told I don't know about Jewish people, it's kind of hard for me to just be okay with that. And I said, you don't know about Jewish people. That is abundantly clear. And he said, LOL, I know you make great bagels, challah bread. I guess I know 2 things about Jewish people, Roxy. You've cracked the code here. Great work. That's what he wrote. I could go on. You guys understand. He asked me for footage about how Jews are indigenous to Israel. I sent it to him. He said he disagreed. But they are. So there's no disagreeing with history. If you look up the definitions of things by the UN, you can't disagree that they're not indigenous there. So it's just like fighting. Ash, prove it, proves it. No, that's just the whole conversation. So that took until 4 a.m. And I was so upset with myself because why? Why am I continuing to do this with myself? So today, what I really try to do is talk to my friends who live there and my family from there. So, or that lives there. So I talked to them today. I called my grandma, Mati, and I was like, talk to me about how you guys are feeling now, what's going on. And let me just share with you guys some of their thoughts, because some of you guys do not have Jewish people that you can call who live in Israel, and some of you do not have Palestinian friends that you can call to know how they're feeling. These aren't people who are speaking for everybody. This is just their personal thoughts on what is going on right now. So he was saying to me that the biggest problem is who's killed the people. It's the people. His biggest issue, of course, being what we all believe, which is that it's not the governments, it's not Hamas who's getting taken out, it's not Netanyahu or the Israeli government that's getting pointed at. It's the Jewish people and the Palestinian people that are continuing to suffer and be killed. They are very concerned about the anti-Semitism around the world. They both have said that, of course, they're concerned about Islamophobia as well, but that they're seeing much more Jewish hatred around the world. And of course there is, because there's so many less of us, right? With not even 16 million of us, as opposed to with over 2 billion Muslim people around the world. And I'm not saying that all Palestinian people are Muslim. Of course they're not, but just when speaking about Islamophobia versus anti-Semitism, that of course around the world the hatred of Jews is just so fucking strong. Both of them being problems. We don't need to rank them, but just that isn't a big concern of both of theirs right now. They hope for quiet, they kept saying. He kept saying, I hope for quiet. I thought that was an interesting way of saying that he hopes for peace. Hamas is terrible, and the number one things that he also said he hopes is that Israel finishes Hamas. I asked him about that because I was like, by what means? And he said that there is no healing for Gaza until Hamas is eliminated. And that is how he feels, that Palestinian people in Gaza will never be free under Hamas, and that they need Hamas removed. They talked to me about a trip that they took about 15 years ago before Hamas was empowered to Jericho. For those of you guys who do not know, Jericho is in the West Bank. And they go to the West Bank frequently, the two of them. They do not go to Gaza because they are not allowed in Gaza, because he now has Israeli citizenship. And if you have Israeli citizenship, even if you're a Palestinian, you are not allowed in Gaza. So by Gaza's rules, by Hamas's rules, they do not allow people with Israeli citizenship inside. So he they do not go there, but they do go to the West Bank. And they talked about how incredibly kind the people in the West Bank have been to them, which I'll get to in a second. But years ago, they were in Jericho, and people were voting for Hamas to rule because Hamas was going to be in the West Bank and in Jericho. And they went around surveying people if people were excited about Hamas. And this is before Hamas was a known terrorist organization. And they said that people were really excited because Hamas was promising them to make their lives better and was promising them food, because a lot of people here continue to be like, why would they vote in Hamas? But they, yeah, that is interesting, RJ. I don't know. But they said that they believed that Hamas was going to make their lives better and provide resources for them and food and the things that they needed to survive. I guess that Hamas decided that Jericho was too small of a city, which is why they ended up moving to Gaza, to rule in Gaza. So when people say to you that Hamas is not in the West Bank anymore and that they're only in Gaza, it's not entirely true. As Mati explained to me, he shared with me that there are still some members of Hamas who are in the West Bank who did not leave the West Bank or have gone there, but for the most part, the majority of people of Hamas is in Gaza, and that at first they were promised a better life, and that is what they believed they were going to get, which is obviously not what happened. So that's when they moved to Gaza and really took hold of what was happening in Gaza. People weren't really paying attention then because they didn't believe that they were big enough to be as successful in their mission, aka what it is that they've done, as they have been, which is be terrorists. He said unequivocally, who started this war is Hamas, like ISIS. He unprompted, he said, who started this war? Hamas started this war, like ISIS. This war. Obviously, they do not like Netanyahu, either of them, myself as well. He said that Hamas being backed by Iran and all of the biggies is very scary. He said the fact that they have all their tunnels that they built under hospitals and schools is a huge problem, because we know that that is what they do, using human shields. And they spoke about the West Bank because I asked about the violence going on in the West Bank, because it's horrifying to watch as people turn against Palestinian people in the West Bank and as people turn against people all over the world. I just wanted to get their thoughts on things. And he said, they both said that they go to the West Bank and that they've always been treated nicely and that the people there are absolutely beautiful. Yes, and they're both incredibly scared. He just extended his trip. Obviously, he can't go back right now and is planning on being here for months. I feel so lucky that he is here. And I know that a lot of people don't have that luck. So, yeah, I just feel I feel very, very grateful to make that the two of them are here. His children are not here. They are over there right now. They've come to stay with us many times, and um, it's so fucking scary. It's just fucking scary. Yeah. Yep. So those are some of the conversations that I had with them today. Obviously, it was a lot longer. They're and yeah, their hearts are with the civilians there, and that are just being executed. The They believe that Hamas needs to be removed, and people need to help with the infrastructure of the Palestinian government so that Palestine can be self-governing. They believe in a two-state solution. I know it sounds simpler than it is, but I believe in it too. I believe in peace. I believe it is possible. Just horrifying. Anyway, I've been talking for a little bit, so let me check in on you guys. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider. Super chat in. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, let me know. Coming into the Streamlabs now. Let's see what's happening in here. Okay, Ryan Payne says, I know it's not a World Girl stream. Thank you for the big support, but I'll give you the karaoke donation. You really don't have to sing. Give them where the stream might go. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. I can't believe that we've created war as a people. I can't believe we've created terrorism as a people. I can't believe it. When I started, and you guys who haven't, when you start looking into what's going on in Congo, when you continue to research what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, same thing all over the world, with Iranian women, with queer people all over the fucking world, especially in the Middle East, with Sudan. Once you can't stop looking at the amount of war, the lack of peace in the world, it's like, how did we do this as a people? And it feels like from the beginning of time, it's been like this. How? Why? Just horrifying. But Ryan did say, okay, but let's make your grocery bill a lot lighter. Thank you. Appreciate you. Speaking of hunger, the best candy is Snickers or nothing at all. I'm so sorry. I think that is their slogan, but I'm not a Snickers girly. I don't know what it is. I think it's the nuts. Don't clip that out. Jake Yakavetta in the Streamlab says, was about to make a joke about Skittles. And then you went pivot and got serious, or nope, not going there. DJ posted about Palestinian innocents being killed, and someone commented, you're killing Israelis. What the fuck did DJ do? I don't know. It's like posting that I'm pro-genocide. It's like people are just, it's wild. It's wild to watch. It's just truly wild to not see people be able to use reason and logic. Austin Kramer in the stream says, from what I understand, my town started doing beggars night so that the children can go trick-or-treating and then the adults can go to their Halloween parties on Halloween night. Wow, that is a town that supports partying, and I support that. Celebrate good times. Come on. Mike Joyce says, so you have to deal with all these tools online recently. I hope you use the block button more so you don't need to waste your time with those jerks. I appreciate that, but my biggest thing is I don't want to block people right now, because the more people, I'm blocking people who are saying that I should be gassed because I just can't deal with them. But the more people I block, the more people hate Jews. And I just don't want to be hated like that anymore. I don't want my people to be hated like that anymore. It's challenging. I want to talk a little bit about Matthew Perry. You know, it felt so weird during this time as we're finding out that Israeli babies were burned in ovens alive, and Palestinian babies are being crushed by rubble from bombings, and we're watching horrible thousands and thousands of people from Israel and Gaza die, and thousands of people in the United States and London and Australia and um, in Germany, in Berlin, specifically all over, be fucking harassed and tormented and swastikas going up and little boys who are Muslim being killed, just fucking disgusting things in the world. In the middle of all of that, Matthew Perry died. And at first, I didn't even know whether I could say something or not, because I was like, with the state of the world, I feel like people are going to be like, what the fuck, Roxy? There's so many things happening. Why do you care about this one stranger that you've never met? But you know what? The more war that happens, the longer I'm on the planet, the more I know how much every single life matters. And his life happened to have a monumental effect on me. And not just from friends. And I know he's talked about not wanting to just be remembered from friends. But obviously, yes, from friends as well. A show that I have seen every episode of a dozen times, if not more. A show that has gotten me through every breakup. A show that I was raised on, that I watched every episode with my mom with, that I've watched with partners, friends, literally. And he is the best character on my favorite show of all time. It's him and Phoebe. But growing up, it was Chandler. And he's just brought me so much joy into my life, and especially in this time of sadness. So I've just been binging episodes, just watching him and watching interviews of him and watching interviews about him, watching his casts talk about him, from Salma Hayek to, of course, the cast of Friends, to the creators of what he's worked on, to all different kinds of people that he has worked with, posting about him with him. And yeah, it was just fucking devastating. And to know how much he struggled to choose to be here every day, and to hear about his drowning, and to not know the circumstances behind it. But obviously, it's not what the main point is. Just fucking gutting, man. You know, I got so many text messages that day. Really wild. On any other week, if it wasn't for what was going on in the world right now, I'd probably be doing an entire week of shows dedicated to Matthew Perry. And at some time, I will do an entire show dedicated to him. But I got so many messages from my friends. Sam Levine texted me. Greg Alba texted me. My old roommate, Jeffrey, texted me. Was getting so many texts because people know how much I love him. How much I just truly, truly love him. And yeah, gosh. Just really seemed like a really true bright spot in this fucked up planet. Happy Halloween, everyone. I'd said I would make it so you didn't have to spend Halloween alone. I didn't say I'd be full of sunshine and rainbows. I'm not capable of that in this moment. I am seeing all the interim agreements that are happening. I do hope that SAG is coming to an agreement soon. I will be talking about the movies that I am allowed to talk about. I won't be talking about the ones I'm not allowed to talk about. We're almost at the end of this, I hope. Let's go. Jake Yakoveta in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Julia Prescott's stories about growing up with Matthew Perry being her dad's best friend are so fucking heartwarming. I haven't seen that. Thank you for giving me something to look into. Looking forward to that. And I will. Yeah, there was this one interview that the Friends cast was doing with Oprah, and they were all talking about Matthew Perry. She asked about Matthew Perry and the things that they all had to say about him, just like how much they loved him, and how funny he was, and how he could find the funny in his timing. Yeah, he was just huge, huge, huge for me. I mean, just devastating. I know he's huge for a lot of people. But yeah, the fact that my friends are reaching out, sending me text messages about that. I feel like people have needed to text me about shit all month, man. from Grammy being in the wheelchair to what's going on with the anti-Semitism around the world right now to Matthew Perry to the strike to me being out of work for fucking 110 days for the acting, but it's been longer. Um, just in general, like it. Just everybody texting me, and I appreciate it. Wow, I've almost been here an hour with you guys for Halloween. Okay. I am going to go relatively soon, but I do want to leave you guys with some good things. This isn't a good thing, but it is different. If you guys are in California, you probably experience, and I think other areas of the United States right now, an extreme amount of mosquitoes. You guys seeing about all this shit? I'm bitten up and down my ass, my back. My friend is bites all up and down her leg. And I guess they're genetically modifying mosquitoes to fuck with these mosquitoes now. What the fuck, man? Oh, Brittany wants to know what I'm drinking. Brittany, I'm obsessed with you, by the way. There's so much love for you, babe. This is a LaCroix. It is cherry lime. I think it's my favorite flavor LaCroix. It's very good. Very, very good. Yeah. I'm not drinking alcohol. Why not? I don't know. It's Halloween. I feel like I should be eating candy and having booze, but just didn't have it in me. So you don't have it in you. You don't have it in you. Oh, I did want to play something for you guys that really moved me. Maybe it will be helpful and move you guys too. And I wish I had listened to this before getting into a 3-hour debate with somebody who clearly thinks that I shouldn't exist. I saved it on my phone for you guys. And I will find it right meow. My friend Rachel has a podcast. And for the podcast, sometimes she reads, it seems like, inspirational things from books. And this one was really profound and I think helps us navigate different situations right now. And I am going to find that by looking for it. Oh yeah, I'm going to go to my activity and I've seen what I've liked. It's always hard to find things because I'm commenting on so much, liking so much stuff right now. Okay, newest to oldest. No, I'm looking for, what did I like? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I am going to play this for you guys right now. But anyway, she's reading this from a book, but she read it on her podcast, Mob the Podcast. And this is what I had to say. And I think that we can all use this when trying to navigate working with coworkers, friends, lovers, neighbors, all of that.
Somebody at work is a problem for you. They're not the one who needs to change. If someone is a problem for you, it's you who needs to change. If you feel they're causing you a problem, that is your problem. It's on you. Your job is to clear yourself. If they're creating a problem for themselves, that is their karma. Ideally, you clear yourself right in the situation. But often it's too sticky and you can't do it. Step back and then do the practices you do in the morning and the evening or on weekends to stay clear. Do the stuff that quiets you down inside. Next time you go into that work situation, you might lose it again. Just go home and see how you lose it. Examine how you lost it. You go in the next day and you lose it again. You start keeping a diary of, how did I lose it today? And then you go and you do it again. After a while, you're starting to lose it, but you don't buy into it so much. You start to watch the mechanics of what it is that makes you lose it all the time. When you get to the point of seeing stuff as it's actually happening, becoming the witness, the tendrils of attachment will begin to loosen for you. If you don't appreciate me, that is your problem. If I need your love or your approval, then it's my problem.
Here's why I like this. I think that all of us need to be able to take accountability for ourselves and do something helpful and useful. And what I believe about this is accurate, is that if somebody is a problem for you, it is a you problem because it's not necessarily a problem for them, and you cannot change them. People can change, but it doesn't mean you can change them. You can change you. You can change. Not everybody has the immediate ability to change. Oops. Not everybody has the immediate ability to change their situation in that moment, right? I'm not somebody who sits here and says, quit your job. Obviously, you have to live. And if there's a coworker who's a pain in the ass, you don't get to just quit your job. But right now, so for example, the situation I got myself into last night, not situation I got myself into, but that I found myself in. This person, he was attacking me online. I could make the decision to not respond, to remove myself, to block him. He was a problem for me. So that's a me problem at that point. I'm not saying that he, like this says, his, if it's a him problem, that's his karma. But it's not my job to try to change him. It's my job to be well myself so that I can help as many people as possible. And I do think that oftentimes we just want to say they need to do this, they need to do this, they need to do this. And we don't get to dictate what they do. But we do get to dictate what we do. Not all the time, but sometimes. And that's so anyway, I appreciated that. Okay. Thank you guys for being here on today's show. Maybe it's a good note to leave you on, maybe it's not, but it is the note that I'm leaving you on. Happy Halloween. I would love to see some great costumes on the gram. Send them over. If you're on the Patreon, make sure that you put them in the Discord. I want to see what everybody wore. I tried to do Madonna proud. And yeah, I'm grateful that I got to spend this holiday with you guys so that I wasn't spending it alone. And hopefully, even though we talked about some real shit, we were here together doing it. I love the rock stars. You guys are just fucking cool and good people who care about humans, who care about me, who care about each other, who care about strangers. And so do I. And love you guys lots. So, okay. Thanks for being here. Stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want the flumes. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Golden sparkles from the Zen One himself. Oh, man, Glenn, could use some good news right now. Yesterday, I saw that Garth stopped being a patron. It like broke my heart. Obviously, just broke my heart because I was thinking about him, not because he stopped being a patron. Just like what happened, the credit card turned off, and just was thinking about him. Man. Oh, Glenn, we hope you're okay. Garth, we're missing you every day. And oh yeah, I got news today. Every time I go to leave, I got news today that an old friend of mine is missing right now in this country. Yeah, they can't find him. I hope he's okay too. Sending love and thoughts to Chris, and I hope we find him. Oh shit, so much wrong. Okay. I'm going to get out of here before I just start bringing up a million other things that are wrong so that you guys can hopefully enjoy your Halloween. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental health. Do what you can to be in an okay place during this time and all times. Watch a spooky movie. Watch the Halloween episodes of Friends. Eat some candy. Veg out. Whatever you got to do to be okay today and always. All right. Love you guys lots. And I'll see you soon. Cheers to almost being November. Because fuck this fucking month.